Before we talk about how to meditate, I first want to mention the importance of having a motivation to meditate. A lot of people, including myself, start meditating at a point in their lives when they're going through something emotionally tough, maybe experiencing depression or stress or facing a health issue or an addiction. But then, once they get that issue under control, the motivation to continue meditating subsides. So I think it's important to be aware of as many of the benefits of meditation as you can, so that way you can keep your motivation and inertia going even when you've achieved your primary objective, whatever it is that's leading you here now. So we all know, and multiple studies have proven, the effectiveness of meditation for managing stress. And that really is significant since stress is recognized as a leading cause of illness, sleep problems, depression, heart disease, headaches, early death, on and on. However, if your health seems okay right now, those things might not be big motivators. But if you flip that around, you might find yourself more motivated by the fact that meditation can help you improve all those things as well. It can help you sleep better, feel better, be more active. You'll find yourself more able to enjoy the present moment when your mind is clear. People who meditate report enjoying better family and social relationships. They find themselves more able to easily connect with others. Meditation can improve your ability to concentrate and be effective at work. It can improve self-esteem, leadership abilities, self-confidence. And all of these things have significant implications for your personal, social, and financial life. Meditation is known to improve your skin and complexion if that motivates you. It can slow or reduce the appearance of wrinkles. If spiritual objectives motivate you, know that meditation has been used for thousands of years as a way to gain clarity of mind, deeper perspective, and a sense of universal connection. Moments of enlightenment and spiritual insight are frequently mentioned by people who use meditation for that purpose. Also, if you're familiar at all with other self-help or self-development techniques, you're probably familiar with the benefits of positive thinking, maybe the law of attraction, and the problems of negative thinking. But at the same time, you may have also found that it's just about impossible to go around thinking positive thoughts all day long, or even just for a little while, because when you use your conscious mind to think a positive thought, there's another part of your mind that argues and says, no, you're not, or no, you can't. And that essentially makes the positive thinking into something negative, something that creates negative energy within you. But with meditation, you can go beyond thought completely. And slowing thought or stopping thought just might be even more powerful than positive thought because of that. A good example can be seen with physical health. Negative thoughts cause stress, which leads to health problems. That's a fact. But you don't need to think super positive thoughts all day long or to have a positive thought for every physiological process in your body to reverse that effect, because your body knows how to heal itself. Your natural state is one of health and balance. So you just need to get the negative thoughts out of the way. You don't necessarily need to think positive thoughts for every aspect of your health. You'll do wonders just to put the egocentric fears, stress, worries, and other negativity aside. And meditation is a great way to do that. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but hopefully it's enough to know that the benefits of meditation go way beyond just your physical health. All the stuff I mentioned earlier and more. Keeping the benefits of meditation in mind can really help with keeping up your long-term practice of it. It's kind of like exercise. We know we'll feel better in the long run if we do it. We know there are tons of benefits. But if we forget about that, then as soon as we're feeling just a little bit better, we brush it aside for more immediately gratifying activities. So keep reminding yourself that there's much more to gain than simple relief from whatever's bringing you here now. Really, no matter what you want in life, personally, physically, socially, spiritually, financially, there's a good chance that meditation can either directly or indirectly help you get there. And taking some time to remind yourself of how meditation can tangibly improve just about every aspect of your life can really help with keeping it a priority. And just as important, it can help you appreciate and truly enjoy that place once you do get there, as well as the journey to that place. Because life is not just one light at the end of the tunnel, it's light after light after light. If we spend our lives looking for happiness in reaching one final destination, well, it's going to be a life of mostly dissatisfied waiting to get somewhere else. That's not at all uncommon in today's world. Big chunks of my own life have been exactly that. Long periods of frustrated seeking, a short transitory sense of fulfillment from time to time, and then back to the frustrated seeking again. But meditation can flip that around. It's a tool for enjoying the journey, and it really can be a quality of life enhancer. And personally, to keep my priorities straight, I start every one of my meditation sessions by reminding myself that that is the most important thing I have to do in my life at that time. And I really believe it's true. Now, as for how to meditate, you're going to find that there are a lot of different schools of thought and techniques and approaches to meditation. And this can make meditation seem kind of complex, wondering which one is right for you, because they all have their special rules and theories and processes, special ways to sit. But in the end, it's kind of like religion, where it all started with something simple, and then various groups have made techniques and rituals and systems to follow. And unfortunately, this can obscure something that should be very simple. And really, if you were to spend a lot of time researching, you'd find that the various meditation techniques have a lot more in common than not. So let's talk about the commonalities, because those are actually the essentials, and the foundation is what really matters. So at their core, just about every form of traditional meditation revolves around focusing your mind on something, concentrating in a way that your conscious thoughts slow down. All of the major meditation techniques that I'm aware of do this. Sometimes you might be concentrating on nothing, but as an object of focus, even that nothing can be considered something. You're concentrating, focusing, listening, however you want to think of it. You're focusing your mind on something in a way that moves your mind beyond intellectual thought. And as we mentioned earlier, there's a lot of benefit in just simply slowing down and pausing your thoughts like this for a little while. Because when we move beyond thought, especially negative or stressful thoughts, we naturally become more relaxed. Our bodies are able to heal more easily, and a lot more. We already talked about some of those benefits. So as for how to meditate and what you're concentrating on, again, the object of your attention could really be anything, but typically and initially, you'll probably gain the greatest benefit by focusing on or listening to something within yourself. And Zen meditation and Buddhist meditation, for example, usually begin with focusing on the breath. Others might prefer to focus on the consciousness or energy and sensations within the body. And you'll just stay focused for as long as you comfortably can. You don't need to force yourself because your mind will drift. So just do the best you can and know that your ability to focus and stay concentrated will improve with time and practice. But distracting thoughts will come along. That's okay. When they do, just let them be there or let them float away. Just remember that your overall objective is to observe and mentally listen to whatever the object of your focus is. There's no need to analyze it or judge it or get frustrated by or think about anything. When you do notice your mind drifting off or thinking about something, know that it's normal and don't bother getting frustrated. There's no need to be hard on yourself. That is really just part of the process. I'm sure even the greatest meditators in the world, if there is such a thing, I'm sure they still have this same experience. Just know that meditation is about gently steering your mind in a new direction. Little efforts build upon themselves and bring benefits in and of themselves. So it's not about pushing the river. You can be okay with whatever happens while also just trying your best to stay focused during your meditation. When you notice your mind start to drift off, just simply and gently bring your attention back to whatever you are focusing on and let the other thoughts go. Also, know that slowing thought doesn't mean you're spacing out or going blank. You may be slowing down your conscious thinking, but it doesn't mean that your mind is inactive. There's still intelligence. In fact, all you're doing is stilling one very small part of your mind, which is the relatively weak, ego-centered conscious mind. Actually, overall, your observations or experience of yourself and the world becomes much more broad in this process. You kind of tap into and connect with a greater level of intelligence. You'll find that insights and deeper perspectives and realizations, intuition, they come more easily when you're in this state and even after you've been in it. Things that you wouldn't have been able to think of in words just come to you because you're basically stilling the chatter of your weaker intellectual mind. And when you do that, you're able to listen to and connect to the much more powerful level of your complete or whole mind. Some at the spiritual level might even say the universal mind, but whatever viewpoint works for you. Because as powerful as your conscious thinking mind is, it's primarily a fear-based, survival-based, single-tasking tool, which is relatively weak, a dwarf really, compared to the power of your whole mind. So it's in that way that meditation can move you beyond logic to intuition, beyond thinking to knowing, and so much more. Okay, I just want to talk a little bit more about what the major meditation techniques use as their focus of awareness and why, as well as how you can benefit the most from all those approaches. Because aside from this slowing of conscious thought, there's also the benefit that comes from whatever the object of your focus is. Now, I'm not going to talk about rituals, postures, sitting techniques, and stuff like that. Personally, I don't think that stuff is very important. Sometimes I think it's often just made up for the purpose of ritualizing and almost like institutionalizing the practice of meditation. Being seated comfortably is the only starting point that I think matters. Some meditation practitioners say that you should be seated with a perfect upright posture while meditating. Personally, I start off sitting in any chair that's comfortable, and often by the end of an effective meditation, I'm just naturally sitting straighter and more upright because it feels better that way. And that's actually one way that I know I had a good meditation. It's like I might start off comfortably slouched, but while meditating, I can feel an energy moving through my spine, and it just feels good to get my body more straight and upright. So I see good posture more as a result of my meditation and not as a prerequisite for it. To make a big deal about how you're sitting is not what meditation is about. That's just one more distraction, in my opinion at least. But you can experiment and do what works best for you. Okay, back to the foundation of all meditation, which is focusing of concentration in a way that pauses intellectual thought. Again, while the various meditation techniques have their unique rituals, procedures, and systems to follow, they essentially all have that similar foundation. It's the pausing of thought that comes with mental focus that allows us to tune into an expanded level of being or consciousness. The only major difference that you find is what the object of focus is. For example, in Zen meditation or Buddhist meditation, you start with focusing on the breath, or maybe the breath and a mantra, which is just a word repeated with the breath. And the breath can be a good place to start. It's something that's easy to find. It's a good symbol of life energy. Beginners might also be instructed to count their exhales as well while breathing, but that's really just one more tool of building the skills of mental concentration. From there, practitioners might move on to concentrating on other objects of attention. Certain Buddhist meditations involve focusing of awareness essentially on nothing, but really, even that nothing is something when you focus on it. Or you might be concentrating on the flow of consciousness within you, just observing your being, watching thoughts come and go, but still not thinking about or analyzing any of it, just watching, observing, and listening passively. And with this, you're actually very close to what's called mindfulness meditation, which is where you keep your mind focused and just noticing things in the present moment, sensations, sounds, even thoughts that spontaneously arise. But the goal is to not think about them, not evaluate them or judge them, or get stuck on intellectually thinking about anything, but rather just notice them and letting them be. You stay mentally focused while just letting thoughts, feelings, and sensations flow into and out of your awareness without intellectual evaluation, just letting them be there or letting them float away. That's the essence of mindfulness meditation. Pure, thought-free awareness of yourself, your body, your consciousness, even your surroundings and environment. Awareness without thought. There's no analyzing, evaluating, judging, or conscious thinking about anything. Transcendental meditation is another technique of meditation which is actually more of an organized movement. In fact, according to some research I did, 3 different US courts have held it to be a religion. And while it is a trademarked name and process, I think it's pretty well known that transcendental meditation starts with students developing their ability of concentration using the repetition of a special word known as a mantra, which is assigned to them by an authorized teacher. From there, I don't know what they do, but once again, you still see the focusing of mind and stilling of conscious thought at the foundation. Now, chakra meditation is somewhat unique, because in addition to focusing your awareness inside your body on special points inside the body known as chakras, you might also be visualizing or willing energy into and through those points for purposes of healing and mental cleansing. And this process can really feel good once you develop your skills with it. But personally, my favorite form of meditation is one where the focus of awareness is not particular points in your body, but rather areas of accumulated sensations in the body, what I call body energies. And that can include feelings, emotions, aches, pains, everything inside you really. And like the other forms of meditation, the focusing and listening is done without intellectual thought or evaluation. And of course, there's a lot of benefit in just that aspect alone. But the reason that I like this approach to meditation is not only because of the benefits that come from stilling thought, but there are just a ton of issues, mental health issues, relationship issues, stresses, that arise in daily life primarily because of our tendency to want to avoid experiencing body sensations. Addictions, overeating, social anxiety, codependence, panic disorder. There are so many things that arise or get worse because of our human aversion to experiencing what we perceive as internal discomfort. And meditating in a way where we instead build tolerance for those sensations inside us can really do amazing things for your life. Using this approach, I've helped people overcome severe anxiety issues, panic disorder, public speaking fears, social anxiety. I've seen it help people quit smoking, stop compulsive overeating, and it's really amazing. Initially, I thought that this was something only I was using, and I still think my personal approach is pretty unique. But years after I'd been teaching it, someone emailed me and said, "Hey, this is great. It's kind of like Vipassana meditation," which I'd never heard of. So I did some research, came across a pamphlet, and found that sure enough, there's an ancient Indian meditation style that starts with developing one's ability to focus using breath, but then evolves into self-observation and focusing of awareness on the sensations inside the body, which is what I do. So I think my preference of meditation methods would most closely be associated with that style if I had to choose a traditional meditation method. But I must say that I never went any further than my initial research, because as soon as I started reading about their rules, rituals, and pricing, I was kind of turned off. It seems to be one more approach that has been institutionalized and ritualized. Again, taking something simple and making it into a system. And that may be fine for some people, but it doesn't match my personal preference for getting straight to the point. So I still kind of do my own thing. All right, that was a super cursory overview of some of the major meditation techniques. I only mentioned the fundamentals of each because what they have in common, the focusing of mind and stilling of intellectual thought, that's really the simple foundation to keep in mind as you embark on your own meditation practice. Where you take it from there will just be a matter of your own personal preference. Again, I've found that focusing on internal sensations and energies has brought the most benefit to my life in numerous ways. And in fact, at some points in my life, it has continued to do great things for me, even when all the other meditation styles failed. Because with the other styles, there was that risk of trying to use them as a way to eliminate negative feelings in the body. Remember that most of us start meditating because we want to feel better in some way. But if you think about things like anxiety, addiction, stress, violence, greed, codependence, overeating, all those things that emotionally enslave us in this life, so many of them arise because of a simple inability to tolerate our own internal sensations. And we often try to free ourselves from suffering by avoiding those sensations. And when I initially started meditating, I was making the mistake of trying to use it as a tool to do just that, which was a huge mistake. It brought the opposite of my desired results. But by flipping that around, I've been able to continue reaping the benefits of stilled thought while also gaining a profoundly improved quality of living by practicing meditation in this unique way. Now, this video is getting pretty long, but if you're interested in learning more about this, I have a completely free instructional audio that you can listen to. There's nothing to sign up for, nothing to pay for, and you can listen to it anytime. It includes some guided exercises to get you started, because I think doing a meditation is the best way to learn it. And I think experiencing the benefits as quickly as possible is also a good way to boost your motivation to continue with it. If you'd like to check out that instructional audio, you can find it for free at mc2method.org. That's mc2method.org. Thank you for watching.